talking with other candidates, another candidate in particular, I got off into there are people backing you, presumably, for office. And at some point they come to you and say, we don't like this particular thing. I mean, you serve, as a congressman, you have to serve all the people of your district. And presumably there is a wide variety and wide mix of people in your district, or will be if you're elected to that. And not everyone is in favor with everyone else. You know, some people may say, I don't like liberals. Some people may say, I don't like this group, I don't like that group. So if the people that are supporting you come to you and say, we don't like this group of people, then what's your response going to be?
Well, first of all, first and foremost, I'm an American. And then I'm a Louisianian. And then I'm a Republican in office, holding that seat. That seat doesn't belong to any party. It belongs to the people. If someone came to me and inquired or asked me to change some particular law that I thought would be detrimental to the district as a whole, I would simply say no. I haven't received any money from any Washington lobbyists that I'm aware of in this campaign. 97% of my money or better comes directly from from within the district or parishes that are adjacent to the district, or from other parts of Louisiana. And I'll never forget this. When I ran for the state senate in a district that was 3-1 Democrat to Republican, I had a gentleman come to me who wanted to give me some money, and he wanted to raise me some money. And he told me, he said, listen, I want to help you, and the only thing I'm asking you to do is to create an environment by which everyone in our industry can survive. That includes my competitors. I will never ask you to do something directly for me. All I'm asking you to do is to just help us, the industry as a whole, survive. And this was 2-3 years ago. And the same is true today. I think that people who contribute, whether they contribute monetarily or through sweat equity and volunteering, all they're asking for is for people to go to Washington and get the federal government out of their lives. Allow them to live in a country by which they can choose their own destiny.
Even if your neighbor's not like yourself.
Even if your neighbor's not like you. No, exactly. We have safeguards within the Constitution that protect the minority interests in this country. And we've seen it where they've been protected time and time again by that document as well. And so, no, certainly, regardless of your political ideology or your economic viability, I want to serve the entire district.
So left-handed people have nothing to worry about?
No, oh no, not at all. Look, I've got a number of friends who are liberal thinkers, and I enjoy talking to them all the time. I enjoy the conversations we have. I tend to think that I'm right and they're wrong, but I certainly respect them. And from time to time, they help to bring things into light and show me something or a side that maybe I hadn't thought about before. I've always seen, when we have a liberal versus conservative argument, I really believe the conservative side wins, and that's not a Democrat versus Republican. That's a liberal versus conservative. That's a big government versus smaller government. Individual freedoms versus less freedoms.
What you said about creating an atmosphere where everyone can participate and fulfill their own foray.
That's correct. Yeah. That's what's so great about this country. We have a constitution that grants us liberties and freedoms that are found nowhere else in this country. It's so powerful that everyone would like to dip their hands into the freedoms that it affords. And look, Arizona. What Arizona's doing is only protecting itself when the federal government should be protecting them. We have a process by which you can come into this country. We have always opened our arms to migrants, but there's a process. You follow the process and you can come in.
Should anyone have the power to shut down the internet? And if so, for what reason? And if not, why not?
No, I mean, I wouldn't think that we should have the power to shut down the internet, just like we shouldn't have the power to shut down the press. The internet is quickly taking the place of the large printing press machine. My grandfather was in the publication business. They owned a newspaper out in St. Martin Parish, and I can remember those old teletypes and those old presses, and then when it evolved into the massive presses that existed in the 80s and early 90s, and now the digital presses, and now we have the internet. And I think the great thing about the internet is it allows people to communicate and to over vast areas, and to understand what's going on in Oregon versus what's going on in Louisiana in a split second. So no one should ever have the power to shut the internet down.
Some people feel threatened by the internet. A lot of people get truth from the internet that they can't get anywhere else. I guess they're threatened by the truth. Truth bother you?
The truth does not bother me at all. Of course, it's that old saying, sometimes the truth hurts. But isn't that what we all seek? Is the truth? And I certainly have nothing to hide. Elected officials shouldn't worry about information being passed around on the internet, looking back in their record and seeing the things that they've done and being held accountable for the actions that they're taking. Again, if we hold our elected officials accountable for their actions, and we place them in response, and we place them in a position where we hold them accountable to our values, then they shouldn't have anything to hide. Sometimes if they act in ways that are contrary to what the majority of the population believes in, then we take them out of office and we send someone new in there.
What should I have asked you?
What should you have asked me? I don't know that you haven't covered it all. I think that that we are really at a time when we're fighting for the very soul of our country. Also at a time when we're fighting for the very economic survival of the South Louisiana economy. And we need people to go to Washington who want to serve selflessly, not selfishly, that are not looking for another career or not looking to add another certificate or diploma to their wall. People who genuinely want to go there and serve the people. And that's what I want to do. I want to serve the people of the 3rd Congressional District in Washington. I want to try to restrain the federal government. I want to bring the power closer to the people in a way that it was designed to several hundred years ago.
Anything that you'd like to add or anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, vote for me.
That's Inside Louisiana News. I'm Ted Baldwin. Thanks to Jeff Landry, and we'll see you next time.